evening to this second edition of the Social Entrepreneurship series brought over to you by TiE Pune. And we welcome Dr. Abhishek Sen of Biosense. We want to hear from him, and good to have such a wonderful gathering. We were not expecting a huge gathering, but wonderful. And why not? He was one of the most popular speakers from our flagship event, ICON, just happened in April. So I'm here to introduce you the speaker, as well as TiE and the privilege and the duty to do so. My name is Supratik Khatak. I'm a SMAC, that is Social Cloud Media and Mobile marketing guy. I'm going into my second venture, and we're planning to move ahead in that. So that's about me. And so I'm also happy to announce today that we're getting into a strategic MOU with today's facilitator, which is Willgrow. We are getting in a very strategic MOU which will help us more growth into the social entrepreneurship sector, and help us showcase more and more social entrepreneurs to you, as well as get more social entrepreneurship teams to come and work with us. So in that regard, may I call upon Vishwas and Ganpati to please come up and sign the MOU that's kept here.
We'll do this formal signing, but after that I request Ganpati to say a little bit about what Willgrow does and what we plan to do together with Willgrow in the space of promoting social entrepreneurship in the ecosystem in Pune.
Thanks a lot, Vishwas. Thanks, Shekhar, for making this happen. I think if I look at Willgrow's mission, it is to make impactful entrepreneurs or innovators succeed. In those 4 words, is contained 13 years of experience funding over 100 social entrepreneurs in fields such as agriculture, energy, education, and healthcare, and including one of our most proud babies is Abhishek here and his team at Biosense that we're going to hear the story of. Over the years, we've developed programs to help entrepreneurs who want to apply for-profit models to alleviating the real problems of our society, especially the poorest sections of society. And we take entrepreneurs who walk in the door with just an idea and nothing more. We give them stipends, we give them funding, we give them mentoring, we give them access to networks that they can help execute. And we take them all the way through the first 3 years of their journey with up to 65 lakhs of funding, and then a pathway to future downstream funding from other impact investors that we align with. We've had a reasonably good success record. Several of our enterprises are still in existence, continuing to do good work on the ground. Many of them have raised subsequent rounds of funding, have gone on to scale and impact millions of lives. We have a company called SkyMet that predicted the accurate landfall of Hurricane Phelan, as a result of which over 5 million people were evacuated by the Odisha government, and many lives were saved. So these are just some examples of the sorts of things that we do. But everything really starts with that spark of inspiration, and that's where this partnership with TiE Pune becomes especially important. This is a wonderful city for both not only entrepreneurship, but also for that sense of community and that sense of giving back. It's a place where people have a strong sense that they have a duty to society. We believe that this partnership with TiE Pune will allow us to really inspire some of you to take up the problems that we face in our society, be they in energy, in education, in solid waste management, in sanitation, in water, and so on and so forth, and then look to apply for-profit models, get the mentoring that you can get and the support that you can get from TiE Pune, and then after that Willgrow comes in. This is a part of a relay race that we run with you, and we come in and give you funding and help you really grow your idea and make it into a real company. So that's why we're really very excited by this by the support that we've received. TiE Pune is really Manish, Vishwas, Shekhar, Mandar, Satish, all of you have been just fantastic, and so I'm really very excited to sign this MOU today, and I look forward to continue to work with you all to really inspire and then support budding social entrepreneurs here in Pune. Thank you.
Wow. With that said, today's format is about not TiE, but Abhishek himself. And before I welcome him officially and ask somebody to felicitate him while he comes up, I just want to use this couple of couplets from the medieval poet, which absolutely emphasizes the journey of an entrepreneur. It says, मैं तेरे दीद के काबिल तो नहीं, मैं तेरे दीद के काबिल तो नहीं, तू मेरे शौक तो देख, मेरा इंतजार देख. That's it. May I please request Dr. Abhishek Sen of Biosense to please come up.
Okay, welcome, Abhishek. I'm glad to have you in the hot seat because every time I look at him, those of you who agree with me, just raise your hands. Don't you see like there's a naughty little boy here? I've been dying to get to the bottom of the story. And so when the folks at Tai Pune called and said, "Hey, would you like to facilitate this session?" I said, "I'd love to." So maybe we can start at the beginning. Tell us the story of that naughty little boy growing up, and where did you grow up? What was your family? This thing like?
I don't think I've completely grown up yet. There's a lot of naughtiness remaining, but I think it stems from being the only child. You're pampered, you're spoiled. So it starts from that, and then of course growing up, I grew up in Nasik, so very fond memories of Nasik. And after that, joined med school. That's when the naughtiness reached the next level, which is staying in the hostel away from parents. And so after that, Biosense happened.
What does your family do?
So my father works in the Indian security press. So and the press, one of the 3 presses I think in India, is responsible for printing stamps and passports. And,
Currency notes?
Currency Notes is a sister. So it's called Currency Notes Press. It's very close. So he works there, and my mother is a teacher.
She's a teacher. And what classes and grades?
So 11th and 12th. I think science stream.
Okay. And so why med school? Why did you pick
So I don't know honestly. So
like a lot of us, I guess.
Yes, but I think when I was 12 or 13, my grandfather stayed with us while I was growing up. He became sick for a while, and after that he succumbed to his illness. So there was a long period of stay for both my father and me in the hospital. And then you see this nice little authority figure going in the hospital, diagnosing people, treating people, and you get inspired. And this was when I was, I think, 14. So just when you clear 10, and then you're supposed to make a choice कि biology रखना है कि नहीं रखना है, तो रख लिया. And after that, it is it's a very stereotypical thing. Either an engineer or a doctor. Nothing else in a very typical Indian family. So.
And where did you go to medical school?
Nair Hospital in Mumbai.
In Mumbai.
Yeah. So it's a MCG and DMC run hospital, sorry. And yes, so that's.
So like somebody who might have gone to a more elite hospital, you probably saw a mix of patients from all sections of society. Any particular incidents that strike during your medical school days?
So I think one particular day we saw Konkana Sen Sharma coming. that was really memorable. And apart from that, Mr. Kasab, after the blasts, was brought into Nair, and we happened to be interns, final year students, and I don't remember exactly, but he was brought in for the first check after he was nabbed by the police. Yes, those were pretty much the 2 extremes of society that you see in the same room, probably.
Any particularly heart-wrenching, traumatizing stories from that time?
Not really. Really happy the time at Nair.
The loss of your first patient?
Not yet. No. Let me be really honest. No. So you get desensitized over time. So it's very romantic to say that I remember the patient where I lost it, and then I tried doing this but I couldn't save. But to be really honest, it bothers you for some time, but after that it's part of the job. So you move on. It's not really memorable. You do remember the first body you dissect, because that's part of the desensitization process. By the time 3 years you're seeing patients, you're already desensitized. Although I think what struck us was not patients per se,